Hey, Composing Gloves here, and we are going to be doing a chord progression composition exercise in this video. So we've talked about analyzing chords, we've talked about scales, and so we're going to start combining these things. For some of you, this may be a little bit difficult if you're not the quickest at this, but it is a super rewarding exercise because you are now entering into the realm of where these things begin to become a lot more useful. So we're not doing exactly the most interesting stuff quite yet, but we are like right there on the border. So what we have here is I want you to construct an 8-bar diatonic chord progression in a major key. So you can pick a key. I picked D major. And then you could pick like C, A, E flat, C sharp, whatever. Then label the chords with Roman numerals and chord symbols. So I have a Roman numeral analysis up top and a chord symbol analysis down below. And I want you to do the chord symbol analysis because this connects it to the chords and the intervals within the chords. So, because the Roman numerals, they don't capture that. What the Roman numerals capture is how it interacts with the scale, right? So we're staying diatonic. So all these notes are in the scale, and every chord's going to be in our root position. So that means that we will see how our scale interacts with itself, how it sounds as we move through these. So you're going to come up with some chord progression. There's actually some rules, well, not rules, but really good guidelines, especially for tonal harmony. But for this, you can just do whatever you want, just stay diatonic. And then you're going to label it after and sort of discover the pattern of something that presumably you think sounds good. And then at the bottom, if you've been working with a key signature, which is what I recommend you do, then you have probably not been thinking too intensely about some of these intervals. And so this is what the chords, this is what this will force you to do. It'll make you think about these chords more intensely. Now, you may come across, like here I have a diminished chord. Just real quickly, a diminished chord will appear in major keys, and the diminished chord is the 7th scale degree. So if you have a 7, that's going to be diminished, and we'll talk about diminished chords in the upcoming thing. But if it comes across in what you're writing, then make sure that's, if it's the 7th scale degree, then you know that's what you got to do. And minor progressions, if it's the 2nd, that will be diminished. So if you come across the 2nd in your minor progression, make it diminished. If you already know about diminished chords, then great. But if you come across a chord that doesn't fit major or minor, and you're like, what is this? Don't worry about it. Just we'll cover it in the future. So, okay, we do that. We do our analysis. You can still do the Roman numeral analysis, though, because whatever the note is, it's going to be in root position. So you could still say, like, oh, this is the 7, or this is the 2, or whatever. Okay, so this is what I have. And so this is the major version. So first I wrote this, and then I analyzed it. So pretty cool. There's this note here. You might be going with that is 4. That is just a note you don't need to worry about. I thought it was needed, so I put it there. And you may come across a couple of these yourself. So just go ahead and write a note. Sometimes, you know, we don't have the tools necessary, well, yet, to talk about what some of these things are offering us musically, but you just put them in. Your ears are the ultimate judge, right? And then, so what I want you to do after you write this is take the same chord progression and then do it in the parallel minor. So the parallel minor of D major is D minor, and that has the key signature of 1 flat, B flat. And you're going to redo your analysis for both of these. You see all the minor chords, but you notice there are still major chords in there. So we have this cool mix going on, and this is diatonic to the key of B flat. So you will have sharps and flats you're going to have to be moving around, but just change them all so that they fit the key. And it's really an interesting transformation when you do something like this. So like, check it out. Yeah, pretty cool. And so you analyze it, and then we could take note of some things. Like for example, we start on the 1 for our key, right? That's just a natural thing to do. From the 1 chord, you can go pretty much anywhere. Now this is like harmony 2 type stuff. But I do a couple weird moves here, like 3 to 2, sort of a strange thing. But at the end, you'll probably find yourself using a 5, 4, or 1 as some sort of combination of them, and you'll probably end on a 1 because we're going for 8 bars here. Remember, stick to 8. And so don't do less, don't do more. It's a creative challenge. But see here we have 5, 4, 1 again. So I stuck with this. It's actually called a cadence. We'll get into cadences later on down the line, but they're just things that pop up now. And so I'm going to play them back to back just so that you listen so that when we apply this transformation, we go, hey, that's a pretty cool thing. Maybe something you can use in one of your musical compositions you're working on now. Yeah, nifty. So that's the exercise. It will enhance your ability to begin to see how chords relate to scale degrees, what chords sound nice together, some interesting combos you may have not known have existed, and then also how the major and minor chords come together, building chords. I mean, this is really an inclusive exercise, but it's also creative, and that's what makes it so much fun. If you have any questions, let me know. Subscribe. Support me on Patreon. You know what I'm saying? And have a blessed day.